Dave, it's time for a trivia question based on the show you are on, Dave. This is a trivia question. You've missed a couple in the past.
One. I missed one.
But here's one that I'm sure you're going to get.
Oh, yeah.
Dave, can you name two people who have co-hosted instead of you?
TJ, who's our guest on the show today that we could hear laughing, and Anya Dookie, whose name you love saying all the time. Thank you.
Okay, well, you're wrong.
Right.
Twice. You're wrong. Twice, Dave. TJ has not co-hosted the show, and it's Ayana.
Yes, he did.
Did he?
He just said, yeah, we just talked about this, so maybe you're triple.
Then I'm wrong? That TJ co-hosts the show?
Yes, you were there.
Oh, it was one of the days when you didn't show up and I just used one of the guests as a co-host?
That never happened, and I'm sure I had something to do.
Mm-hmm. Check us out at Six Unseemly on all social media and unseemlyquestions.com.
Six Unseemly Questions!
Welcome to Six Unseemly Questions. I'm your host, Victor Varnado. This is my sidekick,
Co-host.
Dave Rosinsky. We've got a great contestant on the show. It's TJ Joachim. All right, so it is time to introduce our studio audience. We've got a great studio audience. We have Colton Dowling and Rachel Teichman. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here, studio audience.
You're welcome.
All right. I'm going to tell you how the show works, TJ, and then we're going to get started. I'm going to ask you 6 unseemly questions. At the end of each question, I'll ring a bell if I like your answer, like this. Except it's a charge sound because the bell is missing, so we're using a charge buzzer. So I'll ring that charge, and if I don't like your answer, I will not ring the charge, and I'll tell you why. Regardless of how many times I ring the charge, by the time we are done, we're going to decide whether or not your appearance on the show is worth giving you $5 whole. All right, TJ, time for question number 1. Question number 1, have you ever been mistaken for security?
Oh, yeah.
Every black dude I know who's a big dude has always been mistaken. They answer yes to this question.
It's the story of America.
It is the story of America. I've a lot of comedian friends. Actually, you are also a comedian, and so my question to you is: do you have a joke about that? Because every big black dude I know has a joke about that.
I don't, just because I feel like it would be kind of hacky. Just because there's so many people with it, and also. It doesn't bother me. I get it. I don't even think of it as a race thing. I just think of it as if you big. I mean, I'm not even that big. I'm 6 feet and 220. It's just the presence. Like if I stand in front of a place, like, oh, he must be the guardian of this place.
I, as an albino, have never been mistaken for security, and so. And so it makes me think it might be a race thing because when people don't see the color of my skin, they've never, not once. I mean, I'm not.
Oh, you big? Oh, you big?
I'm not that big, but I'm a master of the martial arts.
Who would need your help?
Because I have big white friends who also get mistaken for security.
Oh,
I've been asked to come collect money with people on several occasions, so
it might be just a big thing.
Yeah, actually, I did.
I think it's more of a big thing than a race thing for sure.
Well, I think I know that where I can aim my ire, and that is at big people. I'm jealous of people bigger than me.
I'm not a big
shocking.
I'm not black, but I lean like a security guard. So people often think that I'm leaning up against the door, like waiting to check their ID.
It's the mustache.
It's that club-owning swagger.
What's a security guard lean? I want to know what that looks like.
Can you show us?
Yeah,
that does look like a security guard. For people who are just listening to the audio version, Colton just leaned back and then looked us sternly in the face with his mustache. He looked exactly like a security guard.
Exactly.
All right. So I'm going to say I'm going to ring the charge on that because it was a spirited conversation. It's
Yes.
time for question number 2. But before we go on to question number 2, can you tell everybody out there what you do?
I am a stand-up comedian and writer, and I perform all over town. And I'm actually going to be at Fulton's Club next weekend.
Oh,
Yeah.
next weekend.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, then maybe we should rearrange the order that we're releasing episodes so that we can release your episode for next weekend.
Sure.
Yeah, so it can be on the internet and pump you up. Let's do that, Rachel.
Okay.
Oh, right. Rachel doesn't like that. That's extra work for her. But,
Sorry,
but,
Rachel.
she's a trooper. Thanks, Rachel. It is time for question number 2. Question number 2. Would you be good at fighting crime?
I don't think I would be, just because I'm not a very good criminal.
Uh-huh.
And I think to be good at fighting crime, you kind of have to think like a criminal. I'm very bad at crime.
Now, let me ask you this. Superman, I would say, doesn't think like a criminal. What about him?
Yeah, but Superman is not really fighting crime. He's just a superhero. He just can fly and stuff. I mean, like, I think of a crime fighter as a detective or somebody who like can think steps ahead before the crime is committed.
Are you saying you would use your superpowers for bad instead of good? Is that what you're trying to tell us?
No, that's not at all.
How did you get that from what he said, Dave?
I don't know, Dave. How'd you get that? For real?
It was a bit of a leap, but
Yeah,
Oh.
that's what I mean.
Oh, was it? So you're more of a fan of, like, say, Batman than Superman, it sounds like?
Yeah, because Superman it's unfair that he can do that and nobody else can. And then he's like, all of us. Like, I like people to be on an even playing field.
All right.
Batman
You know what?
also is a like ultra billionaire. Like that is like
That is true. That is true.
I mean, you can't even compare their powers too. It's a really stupid fight.
Okay, well, obviously, we brought something up from Dave's past. So I'm going to say...
don't bring up Superman versus Batman ever again.
I'm going to say
Very sensitive
no
area
bell
for me.
on that question because who wants to look too harshly into Dave's past?
I do.
Thank you,
Weird.
Rachel.
All right, it is time for question number 3. Question number 3. What was the title of the last episode of this show that you were on?
Oh, this is straight up trivia now. It's on me, huh? I thought that was Dave.
You like it?
The title? I didn't know you give them specific titles.
Yeah.
What I'm really saying is, did you even look at anything we did?
I posted some of them in my stories.
What?
Hold on. You asking me the title of the episode that I was on, or of the last episode of this show that you?
The episode that you
One
were
that
on,
you were on.
recorded earlier. Not earlier, but the episode when we released an episode that you starred in. As what was the title?
It's
of
when
that?
we were in person.
What was the title?
You recorded it live at the old Creek in the Cave.
I remember it very specifically, but I don't. I'm gonna go with dolphins because I remember I said something about dolphins that you really liked, so maybe you titled it that.
That is incorrect, actually. And the title wasn't it what was your worst day job?
Yeah.
What was your worst day job? That was the title.
Ah, that's right.
That's right. Yeah, and he used to work as a dolphin.
I think we can all agree no bell on that question.
I give him the bell for dolphin.
Fair enough.
Okay, I guess we don't all agree. All right, it is time for question number 4. Question number 4. How different is life in Haiti?
Ooh, how much time do you have?
About 12 minutes.
25 minutes.
Well, it is different in very specific ways, but it's also people everywhere. So here's how it's different. It's different in very basic infrastructure. Like in Haiti, we don't have, electricity 24/7. So there's that kind of basic difference. But I also like the other difference that come from that, which is life is much slower. Like, does the stress of having to move all the time when you're in America, I kind of I'm very chill. As a Caribbean person, you're just chilling. And I really enjoy that part of it. But there's way too many differences for me to list. So I'll just go with those two.
All right. Okay. Those are some great differences. I also was solving a technical problem at the same time, so I didn't quite.
So you weren't listening to me?
But I'll tell you this. Now that the technical problem is solved, I'm going to give you the buzzer because it was my fault. There was just sawing in the background, so I turned on the automatic filter for the audio so that it would take it out of the. And so now you get it.
And here we are.
I just wanted to make the show better. I'm sorry. All right. It is time for question number 5. Question number 5. What food could you competitively eat?
Donuts.
Donuts? Really?
Yeah.
Don't you think that especially because they take up so much moisture, that donuts would be really hard?
Well, I'm telling you because I won a donut eating little competition at summer camp where I worked.
Wow.
What kind of donuts were they?
The small ones, not like the big regular donuts. They give us a bunch of the small one, and I won for my team. I think I ate like 12 in a row with the time that we were given. And they give us a pitcher of water so you don't choke on the donuts.
Right.
So that was helpful. But I won that, and so
you need milk for donuts.
Oh, really?
No, I think the water works as well in this case, especially for competitive eating. Dave, have you ever competitively eaten anything?
No. But if you want to have a pizza eating contest, don't ask me.
That would be your food, pizza?
That seemed like it would be hard to eat competitive.
Yeah.
I mean,
especially
it is hard to
the
eat
cheese is
competitively. I'm sure it is. I've watched a documentary and I thought to myself, I would never want to do that. The people who eat competitively, they stretch out their stomachs.
Yeah.
So that they can. Oh, you heard about that, Colton?
Oh yeah, they eat a bunch of lettuce. Also, I just want to applaud you guys so much for never making it sexual. Like every single time I've heard somebody, I'm like, a sex joke, because I feel like there's a bunch of people that I say like, I'm the best blowjob you've ever had. You know, people that say that, and you guys didn't even try. You guys didn't even like go there at all. I just want to applaud you guys, and I want to give you 5 bells for that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
We're adult men, you know.
It's because Victor likes fart jokes.
I will say we have talked about sex on many occasions on Six Unseemly Questions. We've talked about sex. In fact, I would say that we've all had a really good conversation where we told everybody that definitively we are the best people at sex on the planet Earth, just so everybody knows. So just spread that around. Okay. It is, you know what, donuts, that was a good answer and a good conversation. I'm going to ring that charge. There we go. Ringing the charge. Okay.
Baby.
It is time for question number 6. Question number 6. Do you have stinky feet?
Ooh.
Okay, so
I love the way this answer is starting.
I already know the answer now. Now I already know what the
it's not a very simple yes or no.
Okay.
Sometimes when I'm careless about drying my feet after a shower and I just put on my socks, if I like have shoes on for like 6-7 hours, I do get stinky feet.
Okay.
But whenever I'm like very mindful of that, I'm fine. So that's not a yes. It's just like sometimes.
You know, I get that. I feel like a lot of people's answer would be sometimes. I mean, people who even care about feet stink do something. They usually do something to keep their foot stink down.
Yeah.
Like, what do you do to keep your foot stink down, Dave?
Well, I guess I try to discourage it with words, and if I have to, I'll punish it and send it to its room.
All right. Thank you for that valuable conversation. Colton, what do you do to keep your foot stink down?
Ooh, sandals?
Oh, that is they just being aired out all the time.
Keep them breathing. But what about when you have
Sandals
two
still
places?
smell though. Sandals smell.
No, not like my Birkenstocks. They don't smell. They're like the foam ones, that you do waterproof.
So you
But
just wear sandals to most places?
I wear boots mostly. I was brainstorming positive ideas. I have awful feet. My feet stink. They're disgusting. They're disgusting.
Thank you for coming
Hairy
clean.
feet. They're nasty.
We should have been your question.
My toes are jacked up. Like, people ask me for pictures of my feet. You go, like, what? No, not my feet. I actually had tattoos on my feet to make them prettier. They're the only tattoos I have. And
Oh wow. Now it just makes us all want to see well, at least it makes me want to see your feet. I'm guessing at least I'm sure Rachel does. Rachel wants to see everything.
I want to see your feet. So
all right, there we go. And there's a lot of feet.
Here we go.
What about you, Dave?
Yes.
You want to see?
I want to know if it smells like feet in that room he's sitting in.
It smells like shit in here. It's so gross. It's so hot. You need a fan. You guys, I'm dying. I know for a fact my feet stink.
All right. Well, at least we unearthed you. There's always one in the group.
God damn.
Rachel, what do you do to keep down your foot stink?
I wash my feet when I shower.
Oh, cool foot. Very cool.
Yeah, nice
Cool
foot.
tattoo. Nice.
Your foot does not look that messed up to me, gotta say. Looks pretty normal. But yeah,
Nose?
I saw them. They looked fine.
Look, you suck with your nose.
It seems like he might have a little body dysmorphia about his feet.
That's true. But yeah, I use soap when I wash my feet in the shower. I know that not everybody actually washes their feet. They just let the water run over them, and that is gross.
No need to throw shade on everybody else when you're telling me how you take care of your own feet.
I sense that you feel attacked.
I don't actually. No,
too.
I'm actually a person. I wash my feet. I also get rid of dead skin on my feet with a loofah. If it's available, I'll powder my feet. And I have like many pairs of socks. I always do fresh socks. Sometimes I change socks during the same day.
Oh wow!
How many?
I also moisturize.
That was a beautiful story.
I have a lot of socks.
I do moisturize as well, so I don't have like as much of like the dead skin problem.
All right. So we've determined that you and I are probably the weirdest people on the show about feet. We're the weirdest people about feet, and stinkiest feet go to Colton. All right. You know what? I'm going to say for that question, I'm going to sound the charge because it was a good time. Now it is now that you've answered all 6 questions, it's time to decide whether or not you get $5. But before we do that, can you tell people out there where they can find you?
Yes, indeed. You shall find me on Instagram and Twitter at TJ Standup.
All right, Instagram and Twitter at TJ Standup, and at the Creek in the Cave in Austin the week that this is being released.
Yes.
All right. Okay, it's time to decide whether or not you get $5. Let's canvass the room. Dave, what do you think? Should TJ get $5?
Yes, I really enjoyed how he was happy when you were wrong about him co-hosting the show that time. That makes it all worth it for me.
Okay.
So
great. Dave, you talk like we're enemies or something.
No, come on, me and you, we're tops.
I agree, Dave. We are tops.
We're tops.
Yep. I love me some Dave. All right, Colton.
I love me some Victors.
How much did it hurt to say that, Dave?
Oh, my stomach hurts.
All right, Colton, what do you think? Should TJ get $5?
I think he needs the $5 so he can buy maybe a Snickers for the plane ride over here. Maybe Skittles. I don't know. Maybe 2 bags of Skittles. I don't know.
That's very nice.
Like
2 bags of Skittles is very generous.
All right, Rachel, what do you think? Should TJ get $5?
I think the last time he was on this show, I think I actually said no for some reason, which I don't do very often.
Wow.
Yeah.
What have I done?
I don't remember why I said no, and even if I said no, but this time I'm going to say yes because you mentioned that in Haiti you don't have electricity 24/7, and that got me curious, and I want to learn more.
All right.
I'm all about
Cool.
teaching the people.
And Rachel. Now, TJ, I'm just pretending like she's an alien. Get it? She's like, and people, and if you have to explain it,
Rachel.
let it go.
No, we remember. We remember.
Yes.
Wait, can you start from the beginning with that?
I could, but I won't for everybody.
Thank you very much.
TJ, what do you think? Should you get $5?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I definitely deserve $5.
I'm going to say no $5 because nothing is 100%. All right. But thank you for being on the show. You're a great contestant. Dave, what did you learn from this week's show?
I learned that you could basically lose the show by saying one bad sentence at the very, very, very end of your appearance.
It can happen. That is true, Dave. I am petty. All right. Everybody, please check us out at Six Unseemly on all social media and unseemlyquestions.com.
Starburns Audio, a podcast network.